Hey, beautiful souls and creative minds. Welcome to the Artist Stoop, the podcast where we turn the art world into your personal playground. I'm Jillian Zapata, your host, and I can't wait to dive into the art world with you. Each episode will be kicking it with an incredible artist, unraveling their stories and turning the spotlight on the magic that happens beyond the brush. Get ready to discover new perspectives, forge connections, and immerse yourself one captivating conversation at a time. So grab your favorite beverage, maybe a sketchbook, and let's jump into the kaleidoscope of creativity together. This is the Artist Stoop, where art isn't just a thing you see, it's an experience you feel. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Artist Stoop. Today, our guest is Derek Barron, and he is an artist whose paintings weave surrealism, mark making, text, collage, and pop imagery from his experiences and his thoughts. And his work explores childhood memories and everyday objects, offering a childlike simplicity layered with complexities. So welcome, Derek, to the podcast.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Good to be here.
Good.
Really?
I still think it's funny how we met. I don't know why, but it's just one of those things where you were doing a commission piece for, what was the factory? What's it? 606?
Exactly.
Something like that? You were asked to do a commission piece. I was asked to do a commission piece.
That's right. Yeah.
And then I was told by Frankie, like, oh, this guy named Derek, you have to paint a painting that kind of has some of the colors in his, so that, because they're going to be next to each other. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. And I saw your piece and I'm like, okay, I have to do a play off this with this color palette. I think I can do that. So, and then later that fall, you and I were both at the other art fair.
Yeah, the other art fair.
Showing, and I finally went out, I was like, hey, our art pieces hang out next to each other.
That's right. That was fun.
Yeah. And so that's how, and then I only ever get to see you when we're at the other art fairs.
Right. Yeah.
Are you doing any big shows or fairs coming up?
You know, I kind of got out of the art fair circuit.
Okay.
And I'm trying to push more gallery work. So right now I'm showing in Seattle, Washington at Frederick Holden Company, a great gallery. And I was just in DHV here in Dallas. But that terminated.
Your audio cut out a little bit.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
So so DHV ended.
Yeah.
And
so now I just have that one gallery, and I really just kind of grinded right now.
Yeah. You got a lot of new stuff happening behind you, it looks like.
Yeah, some new. Oh, that's a fun one. We gotta talk about that. Yeah. So just kind of put my nose down and just wanted to work.
Nice. You have a brand new studio space there. Nice natural light, big tall ceiling.
Well, you have to come visit.
I will. It's in McKinney, right?
Yeah.
Do you allow people to come and visit you while you're working?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. I love it.
And what is the building that you're in to let everyone?
It's called the Cotton Mill.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in McKinney, and it's an old 100-year-old building that the owners are actually chopping up into a bunch of little loft sections. It's all they're rebuilding this whole area into like a city wall.
Oh,
and,
cool.
So this whole building is just mainly artists.
Nice. All right. So guess if you are in McKinney, Texas, and you want to go and see Derek and his work, you can stop by the Cotton Mill. Are you there most days?
Yeah, I got artist hours, so it's a 50-50 chance I'll pay you.
I like that. Artist hours.
Sometimes I'm early in the morning, and sometimes I'm here so late at night.
That's totally fine. It's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dive in here. So your work is very distinct. You are one of those artists who, when I see your work, I know it's yours.
Nice.
I just go, that's Derek's.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, right? It's what every artist wants. But you have such a vast subject, like the images you use in your paintings. How do you come up with that imagery and those subjects to put into your paintings?
A lot of my work are childhood memories.
Okay.
Things you'll see, and it doesn't make any sense to anyone except me, right? So why do you have meaties and half and half? I think I've done that most of my life since I decided I was a painter. But I think it's emphasized more now that I've had it's just my son, and so these are his memories. So it kind of jars mine.
Gotcha.
It's interesting.
Awesome.
I'm really. I can't just stick to one thing and just paint. That's it. I'm all over the place. If I have ideas, I like to work it out and get it out of my system so I can go back to my normal.
Yeah, whatever normal is.
Exactly.
No, I totally feel that. I have a notes in my phone and in my sketchbook of just total random words and ideas that.
Oh my God, so do I.
I haven't even touched upon. I'm that'll be a collection in a few years. It's been there for 5. I'll get to it. I'll get to it.
Absolutely. In my notes on my phone, just a whole list of words or things I want to paint. Some of them have checks that I did, and some of them are counting it off. I'll get to.
Exactly, and might have some random a file folder in your phone of just random reference photos or.
Yep. Oh yeah, got that too.
They're there. They're there.
A lot of inspiration out there.
Right. One of the other distinct things about your work is you have this less is more, or what I like to call it is the most important thing you put in the painting is what you leave out. And how did you develop this style? Because it's mostly you have mostly a solid background and then your image, but your image doesn't take over the painting. It's kind of more smaller and subtle. Is that how did you come up with that style? And does that have any meaning, or is that just aesthetic for you?
Yeah. It's funny because I started, especially with the more minimal stuff, I have to work on more than one painting at a time. I'm on 2 or 3 paintings. Something's dry and I'm working on this. I have an idea for that. You get it.
Yeah.
And I was painting something, and then on my second painting, I was I'm just going to play around with this. And I started doing some image transfers, which I used to illustrate a lot. I used to draw a lot. And I don't really feel cynical, which is a whole nother story. And so I don't want to draw it. So I print it out on my computer. I put a primer coat down. And I put the image straight on the paint wet on the paper.
Okay.
And let it dry overnight. And then I take a water bottle and spray it and peel the paper off. And the ink stays in it. So that's why you get this real rough imagery that I use. So anyway, I was working on painting, and I want to work on this. I want to try that. And just kind of by trial and error, actually. The first one, actually, that was the first one.
Okay.
It was like that. And then I went on to Fruit Fill, which I'll talk to you about.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by that one.
So I was doing my regular paintings, and then I started doing these, and I really liked those, and I kind of switched more to that. Even though no one really gets it, but I get it. I like it.
I think it looks cool. I think that's one of the things that is distinct about your work is that pop imagery that you use, and how it is. It looks like a transfer, but it doesn't look like a transfer.
Yeah.
You're right. And then just the scale. You have these huge paintings. Your paintings are what, 30 by 40?
Yeah.
48 by...
I'm sorry, 60 by 48.
Yeah, it's 4 by 5s, yeah. You paint one style, one size mostly, right?
Yeah, I like it.
It.
I'm going bigger, though.
Oh, you are?
I have some canvas down that are going to be 6 by 8.
Ooh,
yeah,
I love a big painting.
Very big.
Love it. Your color palette, does that tie into your stories and your childhood memories, or is that Do you plan your color palette, or do you just go, I think I'm going to paint with this color today?
Yeah, it's kind of up in the air, really. A lot of them are with those childhood memories are kind of an off-white, real lot of negative space. I usually work in like trying to find a balance between color and form, which is bizarre. So I have like 3 little images or 3 areas that are the focal point and a lot of negative space. But then when you start to get in close to the painting, you'll see there's a lot of detail. There's a lot of complexities in it. But from afar, it just looks very minimal. And every day you'll look in and like, I didn't see that before.
That's exactly how I feel like when I see your pieces, because I've obviously seen your pieces like up close and personal, and that's exactly like you have those layers, and it looks like you do have that solid, almost solid background, and then there's just a couple little images, and they're smaller like in size and scale on the painting, but then when you get up, you do see your little pencil marks, or I don't know, it's a charcoal and like, or the backside of a paintbrush, like
Right. Yeah.
etched back
exactly.
in, and yeah, so and that's one of the things that's like, I am always drawn to other artists' work, to things that I don't know how to do, or it's just like my brain can't go there. And your work is one of those things, because that's why I really enjoy it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, talking about layers, there's paintings that I've had at shows, and then I got bored of them, and I paint over them, and they're completely new painting. It's crazy. A lot of layers.
I mean, I've done that with a few paintings, and then someone will come and be like, hey, do you still have that one painting available? And I'll go,
Like, nope.
Like, no.
What? But technically, it's under this one.
If you want to buy this one, it's there.
There you
Right.
go.
Okay. I got it. I got to know. Titles. Let's talk about the titles of your paintings. They crack me
Fine,
up.
right?
I need to. Okay, audience. I'm going to go over a few of these titles. I'll go. Some of his titles: Poop Hill. Yes, Poop Hill. Coffee and Cake. Sometimes. No Dexterity. And Subway and SNL and Subway.
Saturday Night Live and Subway.
Saturday Night Live and Subway. So, please, how do you come up with such amazing titles?
It all makes sense to me.
And that's all that counts, is as long as it makes sense to you.
Okay. Poop Hill. Let's start with Poop Hill.
So can we describe the painting first to people? Because obviously.
Yes, you want me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's black, basically white, painted with a palette knife, so there's some texture in it. And there's 3 images of a toboggan, like a giant, old school toboggan. There we go, sledding now. So growing up,
and that's it. That's all the painting is, everyone. That's it. Just white, 3 toboggan.
And 3 toboggans.
Che.
It's fun. And so growing up as a kid, little kid, me and my dad, my sisters, my brother, we'd all get on a toboggan and we'd go sledding every winter. It was awesome. I grew up in a little town in Illinois, so we get a lot of snow. And we would sled at a place called Poop Hill. It's called that because it's right next to a sanitation department. So there's a sanitation department here, and then there's a big hill that goes down, and you got to stop before you get to the river. So,
Let's say
we go tobogganing.
Poop Hill. I got it.
Poop Hill.
All
It
right.
didn't really snow like that, but we call it.
Okay. So we're gonna go to Poop Hill and go sledding. Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Awesome. Okay. Coffee and Cake, which is actually one of my favorite pieces of yours.
Oh, thank you.
And
I love that for you.
It's awesome. Like I was talking to my other guest, and I normally am not a pink person, but as I've gotten older, I've learned that I actually like pink in paintings for some reason. I don't know, but it's pink, and you have one slice of cake, but it's like almost like a monochromatic.
Yeah.
On pink, but it's a darker pink, and then over on the other side there's like a little cup of coffee and then kind of transverse colors of like another cup of coffee.
Right. So I started drawing these coffee cups. You'll find them a lot in my paintings. Is I'll take the back of a brush, and after I put a layer down, I'll pull it out with the back of the brush. And there's like a little system I have of it. And I don't know, and the cake. Okay, the cake is a tip of my hat to a famous artist named Garrett Palmer.
Okay.
And he did a series of cakes that I just blew me away. And so he's a big influence on a lot of my work. So it was kind of a tip of the hat to thank Barry, thanks for the cake.
Got it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's go. No dexterity.
Oh, Dexterity. That is a painting. It's very blue. And it has a giant outboard motor on it. Like Chrysler 120 motor, actually. And there's like a tackle box, a big engine. This is about a fishing trip I had with my dad.
Okay.
And I was like 8. And we were fishing. And he had a speedboat. He didn't have a fishing boat. We had a speedboat. And it was just fiberglass, a flat nose, and this giant engine on the back of it. It was way too big. And so we're fishing. We're like anchored and we're fishing. And he had his tackle box on the windshield pull down. And his tackle box, it says gigantic. And I was on the nose of the boat. It was just flat. There's no seats. I was just out there fishing. And a houseboat came by and made a bunch of waves. And our boat just started rocking. And his tackle box is sliding and sliding and sliding. I'm like, oh no. And I hold the tackle box and I save it from falling in, but I fall in. And, this is back in the 70s, right? Late 70s. My dad starts yelling at me, you have no dexterity. Get your ass back in the boat. And I'm like, I just saved your tackle box. I'm just mortified. I'm in the freezing cold water getting yelled at. And he said I had no dexterity, like I couldn't handle that.
Of all the things, like, hey, son, are you okay? Is it cold? Nothing. Get back in the boat.
It's Gen X. Get your ass out of the water, get in the boat.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Yeah.
Funny.
I've been following you for a while now, obviously on Instagram. And it's always fun, watching you paint and your stuff, but every once in a while, there is an appearance of a pink box.
Pink box?
The pink box. Donuts. Is it in that one?
You
always had you're like, another pink box. Another pink box. And I was like, what is the significance of this pink box that always makes its way into the studio?
So, okay. I did I didn't know what to call it. It's maybe not a sculpture, but it's like kind of a sculpture or all right, so everyone knows what a pink box is, especially if you're in California.
Yeah.
It's all coming. So every Sunday I would buy a dozen donuts and I get the pink box. And of course I'd eat it until I got 12 of them. I had 12 donut boxes. And then I glazed them with a glue so paper. So I have a dozen glazed donut boxes. And that was the art piece.
They were just all glued together.
No, they weren't glued together, but I put glue all over them so they looked like a glazed donut, but it was a glazed donut box.
Oh.
So a dozen glazed donut boxes.
Gotcha.
And that was the piece.
All right, because it was just like I remember, like I don't remember how long ago it was, but I was like, it's one of those things that
was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, it was like that stuck with me. I was just like, why is he keeping these pink boxes? And you kept, they kept making appearance in your stories. And I was just like, is this an art form? It's just he really likes donuts.
A dozen glazed donut boxes. I never done it.
Do you ever work in like full collections, or are you just one-off pieces, like whatever comes to mind, and or do you do like several pieces that kind of have one general theme or one idea going?
I definitely do a lot of one-offs. But I started, now that I get a little older, I started doing a little more of a series, I guess you could say. I have a couple of those, and but I just don't like getting stuck in the, I can only paint this. You know what I mean? So I'm all, I guess I should focus a little.
Yeah. Oh, why? Is your
It's
art?
like, it's like I'll be working on a piece, and it's, I'm working on the series, and I think I want to paint a stormtrooper, and I'll just go paint a stormtrooper.
Best part about being an artist, it's like, look, squirrel.
Yeah, throw it. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm on her toes.
Right? You have to sometimes. It's just like I started, this collection back here, but then I had another idea for another collection going, and then I was like, no, but I want to do that collection right now. I want to do that one. Oh, which one should I do? Totally. It's how it works. It's how it works.
Yeah.
What is the bear painting behind you? Is that one new? Or is that one old?
Bear, yeah. It's called Bear. I don't know if you can see it.
I can see it. The audience obviously can't see it, but they can hear about it.
That's one of my favorite pieces. And after I was in Paris and I saw the Basquiat show with Warhol, it just, wow, totally inspired.
And you were just in Paris?
I painted this.
Okay.
So this is another story. It's actually pretty funny.
Okay. It's not like cooking here, is it?
I was like 10 years old, and it was me and my dad and his friend named Lyndall, about 20, 30 yards ahead of us, and we were hunting. And it's in Illinois, and it's freezing cold, and there's snow on the ground, and I have a little Red Ryder BB gun. And we're walking the train tracks, and there's like woods in the distance, and Lyndall is in there. And all of a sudden, you hear a shotgun go boom, boom. And he comes running out of the woods yelling, "Bear! There's a bear!" And I grabbed my pants in. 10 years old. I threw my little Red Ryder BB gun down on the ground, and I ran and hid behind my dad. He comes running up. And when he gets closer, you see him laughing. He's hysterically laughing. And then my dad starts laughing because there's no bear. He just wanted to mess with us. Scared the Jesus out of me. Anyway, that was a little story about that.
So what's the big red mark then?
Yeah, I needed some color.
You need
There's
color.
The rifle.
The
rifle, the bear, Red Ryder, and I feel that color.
I mean, it helps balance it. I think it looks great.
Yeah. I think it's more of the pain I felt at the moment.
The crapping of the pants.
A bear, and I have a BB gun. Oh, dead.
You're like, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the little energy of you that was like.
Yeah. I just needed a little.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'll do that a lot. I'll do a little like random color marks in my paintings.
Yeah, but it works though, because it's just like you do have. One of the things that I have noticed about your work is that you do have, they're bold colors. They're not like super calming or whatever. They're bold, but they're muted. But then you always have that pop of a bright to help keep your eye moving around the painting very well.
I try not to really paint in like primary colors. I will add them as little highlights and stuff, but I try to stay away from primary.
Me too.
Granted.
I think art school has, our art teachers have, beaten that into me, at least for me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about you. You went to art school, right?
Yeah, I went to the Art Center of Pasadena and the Laguna Beach Art Center. Laguna Beach.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
I remember because I used to drive by that when I'd go and visit my dad in Southern California, driving down to Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
Pass by that art center all the time.
Yeah.
Has any of like what you learned in art school, has it transferred over, or is it just like, I went to art school and now you're just like doing your own?
I learned a lot, more than I thought I did, but I learned more technique than they teach you how to use technique in traditional drawing and painting, which is fantastic if that's what you want to do. And then I realized that I kind of don't want to do that. And it was a great experience. I loved it. And, yeah.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Yes. That's all I got to say about that. Actually, one of my favorite classes that I dreaded going to when I first started was art history. Art history. It was so amazing. It was so interesting. We had this woman from France, and she had the accent, so she was talking and explaining about the paintings. That just fascinated me. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Failed the class, but it was awesome.
I mean, yeah, it's just like I feel like there's periods of art history where it's just like, oh, that's really cool, or okay, could have gotten by without that, but thanks.
Right. It's interesting to see, like, they didn't understand 3D yet, so that's why the halos look like this, and this is why they were painted all these triptychs, and super interesting.
Yeah, all the little facets of it.
Yeah.
Is there any other stories of paintings that you might want to share with people that you're just like, oh, I just absolutely love this painting, and everyone, like, I need people to know about this one?
Okay, it's so... I like 90% of my work. There's something that I'm like, I don't want to do it. I don't even show it. Like, I'll paint it. I already have like 4 on the chopping block. I do have an interesting story though.
Okay.
Want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember the old TV show Charmed?
Oh yeah, of course I do.
All right. I was one of the 3 artists that drew in the Book of Shadows. Remember that? The Book of Shadows.
Oh, of course I do.
Yeah.
Hello, Alyssa Milano. Yeah, of course. Who doesn't remember Charmed?
There was 3 artists. There was a woman who started, and then Dan Hoboken, and then he ended up quitting, and they asked me to do it. And so I did the last few seasons. It was a lot of fun.
That's really... How did you come about getting that gig?
Interesting. Well, the artists, you do a lot of jobs. You
have to have an A and B job sometimes to support the art. Yeah, totally get
it. I was a Alyssa Milano bodyguard.
There you go.
During Charm. Actually, all the girls, but mainly Alyssa. And they knew I was an artist, and they're like, "Hey, can you do this for us?" And I'll give it a shot.
Nice.
How was that?
That's really cool. It's your big claim to fame, right?
Yeah.
Until later.
That was my 15 minutes. I didn't realize like how big of a following they had, so I didn't really document a lot of the work. It's interesting. I still have today, like, people will come up to me, or I'll get messages, "Hey, I'm recreating the Book of Shadows. Can you tell me how you did this or how you drew this?" That's pretty cool.
People still really reach out to you for that?
They still do.
Is it like some fan base on Reddit or something that like...
Yeah. There's like a whole Charmed cult. Like, some diehard fans.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I think some of them, the cast is on like a tour, and they go through like I don't know, like a Charmed tour where they go and they talk with people.
Kind of like a Comic-Con type thing?
Yeah.
Link
Yeah, I'm ready to be at that.
That's awesome. So, most important question, because, our whole aim here is to connect artists with collectors and for people to start buying real art to put in their homes. That's the goal here. Where can people purchase your work?
They can go to my website. They can email me or Instagram and just direct message me, and usually just go from there.
Yeah.
There's also the gallery in Washington, Frederick Holmes Company. He has, I think, 7 pieces there, and you can always get a hold of them there. Those works.
Awesome. And just to let our audience know that Derek actually, he does post a lot of his work frequently on Instagram, always sharing final images of his paintings so that you can get to know his work a lot better.
I try to, but I really got to get better.
You do better than I do.
Do I? Oh my God, I'm like, I haven't posted in like a week. I should put something up.
I have.
And then sometimes I'll go like days and post up, And I'm like, people got to be tired of looking at the same things. Like,
No, they don't. But that's like, you have a presence when you do that. And I just forget to post. And mostly it's because I'm tired and I'm a new mom. And I'm like, oh yeah,
for sure.
I should probably post something. Oh, I'll get back to it. Oh, I should. And then weeks go by.
Yeah, I get it. It's hard. It's like a full-time job doing this.
It is. Plus on top of, everything is life. Just, it's exhausting, but it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It is.
So everyone, I will link in the show notes, Derek's website, his Instagram, and how you can contact him. And then also I'll include the links to the paintings that we did indeed talk about today, just so that you guys can fully experience Poop Hill and Coffee and Cake and some of the other amazing paintings we discussed. And if you're local to the DFW area and you want to pop in and see Derek, he's at the Cotton Mill in McKinney, and always stop by and see him. I would probably DM or email him first just to make sure the artist hours are there, so you can make sure you do run into him, because he is a delight to talk to. All right, everyone, thank you so much, and thank you, Derek, for coming on and being another guest for the Artist Stoop. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's fantastic. You're doing great.
Thanks.
Awesome.
And that, my friends, wraps up another colorful episode of The Artist Stoop. A huge thank you to our incredible guests for sharing their art and stories. If you enjoyed the conversation as much as I did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on the next Stoop chat. And don't forget to spread the love. Share your favorite episodes with fellow art enthusiasts, and let's build this community together. Connect with us on social media at Jguze Studio and Jillian Zepeda Art for behind-the-scene peeks, artist spotlights, and a sneak peek at my own art. Until next time, stay inspired, stay curious, and keep that creative fire burning. This is Jillian Zepeda signing off from the Artist Stoop. And remember, the world is your canvas, so paint it vividly.